Today there's an update on the Kyo Ani tragedy. We'll be taking a look at comicbook.com, who talks about the news as reported on by the Mainichi over in Japan. They write, Kyoto animation arson. Court prosecutors put forth death penalty request. Nearly 5 years after the Kyoto animation arson, court prosecutors have formally requested the death penalty for suspect Shinji Alba. Next year will mark the 5th anniversary of one of the anime industry's biggest tragedies. In July 2019, the world could only watch as Kyoto Animation was targeted by an arsonist. The attack ended up with 36 lives lost and dozens more injured. At last, the attack suspect is on trial, and the new update has confirmed prosecutors in Japan are seeking the death penalty. The information comes from the Mainichi. The team says while Alba may have experienced delusions at the time of the attack, that he knew he was doing. For instance, the prosecutors have stressed Alba falsely believed Kyoto Animation has plagiarized an idea of a novel he'd written. But of course, the defense team does not agree. After all, Alba's defense is seeking full acquittal, or a reduced sentence for Alba. They believe his mental state during the time of the attack does not make him fully responsible for the arson. Back in September, the latest trial against Alba began to determine if he was mentally competent enough to bear responsibility for the arson. The trial will end this month before the Kyoto District Court hands out its verdict in January 2024. The article closes with this paragraph. For those unfamiliar with the tragic case, the Kyoto animation arson took place on July 2019. The deadly attack impacted more than 70 victims, and authorities apprehended Alba the day off after, finding him injured on a nearby street. Due to the COVID pandemic and intense public scrutiny, trial proceedings for Alba have been slow. Earlier this year, the suspect did plead guilty to the charges laid against him, but the court must now decide if Alba is mentally sound enough to bear such blame. Truly horrific situation. 4 years ago, I remember covering it, and it's not a topic I don't think anyone enjoys talking about. I didn't then, I don't like talking about it now. One of the worst things to ever happen in the anime industry. And thank you guys for tuning in. Guess we might have another update in January.